Thank you to Ana Luisa for sponsoring this video. With sustainable practices and low affordable prices, Ana Luisa is one of my favorite jewelry brands, and all of the pieces that I'm wearing in this video are from them. You can check out the link in the description box below to find a special discount just for you. Good morning! So, it's been like, what, 6 months since my last hair color? I'm back at Level 1 Studio. They moved to a new location. Look at how big and spacious and beautiful this place is. Wow! It's in the same building as last time, but just like a different room, and it looks really awesome. The Salon Day outfit, if anyone cares, nobody does probably. My Miu Miu bucket hat, which has been a lifesaver because these days I just throw on a hat to hide like the ugly roots, but I'm so excited to finally get it color corrected today. Like literally I've been waiting for months for this. Let me set you guys down over here and tell you guys what's been going on. Okay, so underneath this bucket hat, something has occurred. So I've been blonde for a while, which has been really wonderful. Hair's long and luscious as always, you know how it is. My usual stylist, Mindy, actually moved to Australia. If you're in Australia, I'll leave her information down below so you guys can check her out. She's amazing. And so I was kind of like looking for a new stylist, and I went to a couple different places, and unfortunately, I didn't realize this, but I'm incredibly allergic to bleach, all except for this one brand, Finola, which is, you know, the stuff that I've been using for so many years, and I didn't know. So when I started going to like other stylists that weren't using Finola, I started having these like really insane like full body rashes, and like my throat would close up, and at one point I was gonna pass out. And so there were a couple sessions where before I figured out what was happening, I had to end my sessions early. So I do want to say that like it's not any of the stylist's fault, like the people that I went to during this time, because I don't think anyone could have possibly known that I would have had such a severe allergic reaction. But I did want to give you guys like some photos of proof of like how bad this was, and this actually happened twice. So the first time, I have this super laughable photo. Here's my friend, and Seto Yumi is looking super cute as always, but if I zoom into my hair, legit, it looks so bad. Like it's so laughable actually, like how horrible it is. I remember for like a few weeks, I couldn't even wear my hair up in pigtails because I was so embarrassed by how clowny it looked in the back. Like you couldn't really tell from the front, thank God, but from the back, like I have some pretty embarrassing photos. And so I resorted to wearing hats a lot of the time to cover this mess. And then the second time, the allergic reaction was even worse actually. So I have some photos that I snapped during my salon appointment. So as you can see, like it's like kind of spreading all throughout my body, like this like red splotchiness. Just imagine it being like everywhere. Like my hands and my feet got super swollen. I was itchy everywhere, and I was just like sweating like crazy. So it was really bad. And of course, like I mentioned, the worst part was that my throat closed up, and so I couldn't breathe. And so that's when I started going into a panic and was like, okay, like I don't know why this keeps happening, like, but I'm like having some kind of medical emergency. Let's wash out the bleach, and like I have to go. By the second time, I finally realized like, oh, okay, well as soon as we wash out the bleach, I'm okay. So then I realized, okay, like I'm just allergic to basically like most bleach formulas. So you guys remember how terrible it is in the back? Well, by the second time that this happened, it was starting to get really, really bad in the front too. So here's a photo that I snapped. So I'm super thankful to be back at my old salon again. Like I mentioned, they relocated. And yeah, excited to fix whatever is going on here. I think this is going to be a very long and very expensive process today. I'm going to explain to you guys more about why that's the case while we do this, because I'm legit having a hair emergency, and I don't think I've had a hair emergency in literal years. Like, it sucks. So today I am working with my hairstylist, Henry. He's actually my new hairstylist now at Level 1 Studio, now that Mindy has moved to Australia. He's amazing and has improved so much during the time that I've been here at this salon. So as always, I'll leave his socials linked down in the description box below so you guys can check him out and book him if you're in the LA area. Yeah, so let me, go into some pretty heavy detail about what is happening behind the process. I can understand that $1,000 is a lot of money for some people, especially to spend on a hair appointment. And for me, it's also a lot of money, but because hair is an integral part of my career, you know, it's worth it for me to spend this amount of money. But let me just explain the steps of what Henry is doing and why this salon appointment in particular costs so much money. First of all, two different things are happening today: a root retouch and color correction. A root retouch is something that you do on average at between 4 to 6 weeks to touch up your roots. And this is if you have a full bleach from the top of your head to the ends of your hair. Every 6 weeks, I come to my salon and I get a root retouch. At my salon, this costs about $350. And if you're looking at highly specialized people in the Los Angeles area who specialize in doing colored hair for Asian hair, this is sort of the average price that you find. You know, I've been to multiple people and I see it in the hundreds. Of course, depending on the level of expertise or the amount of training your stylist has had, you know, their prices can range a lot, but this is how much it costs on average in this area. So we are starting the retouch and also the color correction, and I just wanted to show you guys how bad this banding is. Like, if you guys can see, well, here's the black, and then you can see how it's grown out, like this like orangey color, and you can see it's like pretty noticeable right here, and then the rest of it is like my usual blonde color. And it like, oh my gosh, okay, like right here, it looks so bad. I was talking to Henry about this, and he said that usually when people are doing color corrections and a root retouch, like they do it separately because most people like aren't able to do that in the same day, but he's confident with his abilities. I feel safe in his hands, and so we're gonna do it all in one day. Now, the second thing that Henry is doing for me today, which is why this appointment costs so much, this is where you get into like the $650 range and up. This is called color correction, and it takes a lot of time and a lot of expertise, and that's what I'm getting done today, and that's why it's so expensive and why it's taking like 6 hours today. So keep in mind all of the reference photos that I showed you guys. I have multiple levels of bleached hair, from brassy blondes to lighter blondes and full on black hair. So it becomes a really tricky situation because Henry has to very carefully go through every section of hair and carefully bleach and re-bleach over certain sections of hair to make it all match at the same level. So he actually is applying bleach twice throughout this session. So you have to be very, very careful at bleaching only the parts that need color correcting and not touching the other parts that have already been bleached, because if you over bleach those parts that don't need color correcting, your hair is going to break at that point and it's going to fall out. So I definitely would never go to a salon to do color correction unless I really, really trust them, because it is one of the trickier and most time consuming and most expensive services that you can get at a salon. Also, I want to say that another extra special step that they do for me is because I am so sensitive to bleach and chemicals on my scalp. I know it's ridiculous that I still do this even though that's the case, but I found a way to make it work. My stylist always does an off-scalp application of bleach for me, so he leaves like a millimeter of root just so that it doesn't touch my scalp, and this takes, again, an extra level of expertise and also more time. So by the time that we started washing out this bleach, I think we were in like hour 3 or 4, because it takes a long time to apply the bleach, reapply the bleach, and then let it sit during those 2 sessions. I'm filming another project today, as you can see, and hi! The team bought me lunch and cake. I'm so excited. Now, originally I had a different hair color in mind. I was going to do a hair transformation for you guys today, and I wanted to do like some crazy multicolored pastel hairstyle. But after talking with my stylist and the team, they said that the goal today, because of the amount of color correction necessary, the best thing to do was just to have my hair be as even as possible to sort of prep it for our next like hair transformation. So even though that I've done pink a lot in the past, we decided that the best thing to do was to do an all over pink color just to help hide the banding a little bit, because color correction isn't something that you do in one session. It's something that you have to progressively do throughout every single session that you come back to during your root retouches, so that you can slowly lift the banding so that one day it becomes unnoticeable. And although pink isn't the end goal, it's something that's helping me transition to my desired hair color in the future. And I think that's something that we really need to remember if you're trying to achieve like unnatural bleached and colored hairstyles, is that it's a process, and sometimes you can't have it done in one go because it's just not achievable. So after, talking with professionals, they were telling me, okay, what you want right now is not achievable, but let's have these couple of steps in between so that eventually you can have the hair that you want. So I did settle and we did pink hair today. Also, a funny little thing that I've been doing, it's just like a side little hobby. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you know that I've been obsessed with making beaded bracelets and rings. I call it bead mania because I'm literally insane. I brought my little bead making kit and I made beaded bracelets for my production team, and I'm actually going to do a tutorial on making these beaded bracelets for you guys soon because people have been requesting it. So yeah, that's coming up soon. I was hoping to have some extravagant hair color change, but ultimately I felt like, this is like a real time huge lesson learned for me, and it was something that I felt that was more educational. And so although, I'm not doing a different color from what I've done in the past, I still wanted to, sort of like share like the experience that I went through and to tell you guys, like this is sometimes what happens, when you're doing like unnatural hair colors. At the end of the session, I was really, really, really happy and honestly just so relieved because like I mentioned, like hair is such an important part of my career. I'm always, in front of the camera, I'm creating a lot of hair content for you guys. And so having fucked up hair was literally my worst nightmare. We're done! Oh my gosh. I love being pink. I feel like myself again, and my hair feels so nice and so smooth, and thank you, Henry. He's drinking a liquid right now. Oh, it feels so good to be back to pink. I feel whole again. All right, it's time to go lay down and sleep forever. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys again next time. Bye! And thank you again to Ana Luisa for sponsoring this video. Don't forget to check out the link in the description box below for a special discount code on your next order.